excited to have you here tonight. My name is Jana Truman. I am the managing broker and managing director for SBN Excel Commercial Real Estate, for Excel Exit Advisors, and for Excel Property Management. We are so excited to have you here tonight. We have some great speakers tonight, and we also have some amazing sponsors. And I want to remind you as to one of the reasons why we do this. And I say this every time, and you'll get sick of me saying it, but I'm going to do it anyway. One of the main reasons why we want to provide this free education to you is so that you can change your lives and the lives of your family, so that you can be part of the solution in the community because you can afford to do so. We want to help you improve your standard of living so that you can improve your standard of giving. And as we say that, part of the reason we actually are putting our money where our mouth is, where every one of these we have a charity sponsor to help introduce you to different opportunities that might appeal to you to be able to invest in the people, not just in the real estate of our communities. I want to introduce to you my friend, my new friend. Yeah. She and I actually met at a Williamson Chamber thing, and then we ended up going and having lunch. We hit it off so well, and she told me all about her charity, and it turns out it's something that is pretty near and dear to my heart. So Rebecca Zeitlin, would you tell us about Waves?
Absolutely,
and
Jana,
I'll let you take
thank you again so much for the opportunity. Hi everyone. I'm just going to take a couple minutes and tell you about a really great organization that's local here in Williamson County. I'm going to get this screen up first. See, I'm not connected to the Wi-Fi, I don't think, so I don't know. Okay. So Waves is a local nonprofit. We're based here in Williamson County. We were founded in Franklin by a group of parents in 1973. We're celebrating our 50th anniversary this year, which is really awesome. We've had a ton of celebrations so far. I'm going to tell you about an upcoming event we have that's actually tomorrow. My name's, like Jana said, is Rebecca Zeitlin. I am our board chair for 2023. And Waves is an organization that supports people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We serve clients all across not only Williamson County, but greater Middle Tennessee. And we have kind of 4 main programs that we provide. The first being our early learning program, and then our adult services, which include a residential program. We have day services, and then we also have employment training programs. And that's one of our awesome residents. So just want to show, you'll see lots of great pictures, which I'm so excited about. For our early learning program, we work with children from birth to the age of 4 who may have some type of developmental delay. We provide in-home and community-based therapies for those families. We work with parents and other care providers to determine if a child has a learning disability or a need, how we can help them gain as much accessibility as possible within their community. Sometimes it's at home, working on feeding therapies and different PT skills. Sometimes it is out in the community. We might have one of our care providers meet a family like at the park to talk about, okay, choices. And if we can't use this swing, how can we get this child to be okay with making a choice on a different swing? Things that if we have a typically developing child, we may not ever think about. These amazing therapists are out in our community doing this work every single day. We work with, I think at our last count, we have about 600 children that are assisted by this program all across Middle Tennessee. And look at how cute they are. Just love them. For our adult services, this is just an example of our residential program. Beth right here in the blue shirt has been a resident with us for many years. A couple of years ago during the pandemic, Beth decided that she really wanted to learn how to garden. So we were able to apply for a grant from the Predators Foundation, and they made that garden possible. You can see it right there. That's some volunteers that are helping take some debris away. We have 3 residential homes in Williamson County currently that we operate. Those are on a sliding scale. We have individuals that have really serious needs that have round-the-clock care, and then we have individuals who live independently or semi-independently too. Here's an example of our day services program. Last year, we partnered with a different nonprofit, and our day program attendees were able to learn how to do photography skills. We showcased their final photographs at, I believe it was the Fairview Rec Center, if you are familiar with that location. And so here's just some great examples, some great photos from that program. For adults that maybe don't have the ability to work in a workplace or maybe retirement age, they can come and join us during the day and receive all kinds of programming at our 2 sites in Livingston County. And then here is some of our employment programming. If any of you are familiar with the Fieldstone Farms Publix, Eric over on the right is a rock star. He is like, people wait in his lines so that they can get him to bag their groceries. We're really proud of him and the support that we're able to provide to different individuals in their employment across Williamson County and in other areas. And then a newer program for us is that last year we were able to start a podcast. So not only do we produce a weekly podcast episode that is co-hosted by one of our service recipients, they also learn the skills of how to do audio production. So they can translate those skills into a future job potentially. This is really cool. So like, here's an example again of Eric, our rock star, like learning how to change the tuning on the recording. And then Matt up here is another of our rock stars. He likes to play the guitar, so he has played that for us in one of our episodes. So if any of that sounds like, hey, I'm interested in that, I'd like to learn more, we would love to have you join us. We've got an upcoming series of Food Truck Friday. The first one's going to start is actually tomorrow at our administrative offices, which are across the street from what I call the old hospital, but you might know it as the Williamson County Admin Complex. It's from 11 to 1, and we'll have the Smoky Dogs food truck out there with us. It's a great way just to learn more about our community, learn about individuals that have disabilities here in Williamson County, and get a delicious hot dog lunch. So we'd love to have you. One of the things that one of our founders said is that when they were trying to come up with a name, something that was really common at that time was that once your child aged out of school, they were most likely going to be institutionalized. And so these families really didn't want that to happen to their kids. So they decided that they were going to make waves by creating this organization. And 50 years later, we're still here making those waves. So thank you guys so much for having me. Please follow us on our social media. We've got our Instagram, Facebook, we're newly on LinkedIn, and then if you want to scan our QR code, you can get more information from us.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. As we are growing in our presentations for y'all, we last time we told you we were going to be focusing specifically on a market segment someone in our office is a specialist in, and I think this will be very helpful for you, especially since most of you are either investors or aspiring investors. Getting to know what's going on in the market can be very helpful for you. I want to introduce to you one of my favorite, of course, they're all my favorites, our brokers, Melanie Yates. She is primarily, in fact, I'll let her tell you about what she does because I think she's fabulous and I think you'll see why. Tell them a little bit about you.
Hello, everyone. As Jenna said, I'm Melanie Yates. I'm one of the agents on the Excel team, and I primarily focus on retail, leasing, and landlord representation. But I also have currently dipped into the land development side, so I can help with leasing or selling at this point. So today, I'm just going to give you guys a few little gems on the retail market in Nashville. As we know, the Nashville market is growing so fast, and we see construction popping up everywhere. Right now, Nashville has about 1.2 million square foot of retail space currently under construction, and that represents a 1% growth increase in inventory. Rutherford County is one of the counties who is experiencing the most new deliveries in the market, with the recent deliveries of a 20,000 square foot building on Old Salem Road and a 14,000 square foot of freestanding retail on Sam Ridley. Other major deliveries in Nashville include 40,000 square foot of retail space in Mount Juliet that delivered in March, and 44,000 square foot of space for Publix, which opened mid-2022. Of course, downtown is booming, and there's construction in that market as well, and they're bringing about 80,000 square foot of new retail space come Q3. We also have Century Farms, the Tanger outlets, which I'm so excited to see coming to Nashville, which should be here hopefully by fall 23. And then also a large Crunch Fitness just moved into the south of the airport, 31,000 square feet of retail space. And last September, Evo executed a lease for about 40,000 square foot space for Nashville Yards, which is set for 2025. The retail market remains pretty tight. We've experienced about 940,000 square feet of net absorption, which is well above Nashville's 5-year goal. And the supply and demand continues to cause the vacancy rate to decrease, which is, right now the vacancy rate is 3%. And that has fallen over the past 3 quarters as well. Malls have a vacancy rate of 18%, but that's mostly due to the new projects being mixed use, build to suit, and also e-commerce. Grocers, home decor, and fitness oriented tenants have been some of the most active leases in Nashville recently. Rents have risen about 8% over the past year, and the overall asking rate right now is $26 a square foot, and that's just a slight premium over the national average. Malls, even though they have the highest vacancy rate, they still are asking for the highest rent at like $41 a square foot. Green Hills, Belmead, Vanderbilt, West End, and downtown Franklin and Brentwood are still averaging the highest of rents at $33 a square foot. And of course, Cheatham County and Hickman being those counties that have the lower rents. And as far as sales go, there have been over $1 billion in retail sales in Nashville over the past year. Even though that seems like a lot, transactions have declined for the past 3 quarters. And Broadway has experienced the top dollar sales recently with $787 million portfolio sale for 5th and Broadway. And lastly, as we know, Nashville's economy continues to grow. Banks are still lending on retail space. They do want a lot of collateral, and they want these spaces to be fully leased. So when you're looking for retail space, we are here to help you get those leases on. Thank you. Oh, also, I wanted to mention some of our listings. We have some land listings for retail as well. So Beach Grove retail space, we have 2 spaces, and that's by Brandon. He has 2 lots, and they're ranging from $600,000 to $750,000. Jana has a couple listings: 626 40th Avenue, Nashville, 0.18 acres, and 615 Rutland, Mount Juliet, at 5 acres. And then our multifamily team, Brian and Canal, they have 1312 Dickerson Pike, Nashville, 2 acres, Excense 0.9 million, and 1320 Briarville Road at 1.1 million. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. So if you are buying that land and you need to have that pre-leased, then of course you are going to want somebody who has contacts with big boxes and all the national tenants and the national retailers, and that would be Ms. Melanie Duncan Yates. My next group of guests, if you want to step out here. So we had the luxury of having a lunch and learn with these folks, so they fed us, and it was awesome. Part of our job is to introduce you to really great vendors, right? We're teaching you about the process and helping you to raise your inspiration level on the buy and sell side. But part of also that process is to get a team behind you. And as we remind you that buying and selling commercial real estate is a team contact sport. It's who you know. So we want you to take the opportunity to meet Rebecca and Corey so that they can talk. They're going to take a second and talk about what they do and how they can be a part of your team. And they are also responsible for your yummy treats for tonight.
Yes, and please take a bundt cake on the way out. Please do that. But I am Rebecca. We are with Serve First Sumner County. We just wanted to touch base with y'all and want to talk about ERPs and MSAs, which is a master service agreement. He will touch on that in just a moment. But we do service fire, water, mold, general cleaning, duct cleanings, carpet cleanings, you name it. We probably do it, or call me and ask, because we are a resource for pretty much anything. As well as inspection wise, we would offer anybody free inspections out of this group. But yeah, I would like for him to touch on the MSAs and the ERPs, because that's super important for y'all.
And you just heard about the services that we do. Obviously, we're the phone call nobody wants to make.
Yes.
For number one. Yeah.
Yes.
We actually just helped.
We did just help him out.
Yeah, with work this morning and all that. So we understand the situation that nobody wants to call us, but it's necessary. Like you said, it doesn't always have to be a disaster. It can be an inspection. If you guys have tenants that are complaining about something, an odor, stuff like that that's going on with the property, we can come by and inspect and see what's going on, try to put a game plan together. But touching on the emergency ready profile, so the handouts that were in your chairs, really just I can point to that flyer that's in the middle of it. It's an app. Servpro has a Ready Plan app. It's available in the App Store, the Google Play Store. And we'll put these on commercial buildings for free. So what it really does is it identifies the main shutoffs of a property. So water, gas, electric shutoff, any other shutoffs, puts a photo description or a photo of that shutoff and a description of the location of it, how to turn it off. So the thought behind that is when there's a damage occurring, right? If you have a water damage, first thing to do is to turn the water off to limit the size of the damage, right? So it doesn't affect an entire building, but it can just affect 1 or 2 rooms to limit, downtime, lost rent, things like that. So that's the thought process behind that. It's something that's totally free, no cost associated with it at all. It can also house other things like contact information from your other contractors, HVAC, roofers, things like that. It can hold their contact information, and it's just a click to call. Those situations. It can also house even insurance information. It has a place to put that in there. So the thought process behind this also is to share this. I'm sure some of you in this room either are property managers or use property management companies. You can share that with them or maintenance people at the same time, so they have it. So the first people that are on site know what to do if they get a call. So that's what the ERP is essentially. We've got those on very large buildings and small buildings, so anything in between. So for instance, downtown, we've got them at the UBS Tower, the 2525 building on West End, the Carruthers building down here in Williamson County, and several others, but we also have them on schools. We also have them on churches, apartment complexes, hotels, anything in between. So we're happy to do that on any one of y'all's properties. You just reach out to Rebecca to do that. And most of the time also we pair these with some type of service agreement that she alluded to. So the service agreement, what it really does, it provides all of our documentation up front, right? Our company info, so W-9, COI, so you've got that ahead of time. And it also includes some pricing. So, at 2 a.m. and, something's going on, you don't want to be having that pricing conversation. How much is this going to cost when your building is in trouble? So that's what we do.
Kind of have a good idea of what it would cost anyway.
Yeah. So thanks for having us out.
Yeah, thank
really
you
appreciate
so
it, guys.
I really appreciate doing that. Thank you. I'm gonna stress that. Please grab my nose on the way out. Thank y'all so much.